of this and some interesting weapons right out the gate. And Dread Ring are coming back a little bit, coming into popularity here. But the Nova Shot, I'm sorry, coming up from PSU side, a weapon that is notoriously not used for various reasons. But I'm eager to see exactly how they are trying to use it here today, especially in combination with that Wellstring Springer. It's definitely an interesting comp, one that I haven't seen already. It may not be backfiring them already. It's PSU 3 down already. NCCS out, opening the gates with a huge lead.
Yeah, really incredible start for the Llamas here. Able to get able to get that wipeout, initiating an early advantage here for them. And as we see here, Albi out there being a nuisance with the Ink Brush, just using all of their resources to annoy Fish times 5.
And the Inkzuki here trying to get a pick to slow down this stalling from PSU, but no, PSU does manage to stop this incoming push from NCCS, and now they're on the back foot as PSU going in to try and get an additional pick, clean out and flush out the remaining members from the Llamas here as they use the Ink Vac to clear out some more space tower, now moving in towards that first checkpoint. Can they potentially get this first checkpoint? It's a little bit hard to tell right now as both teams are still fighting out in mid, a bit of a neutral game here.
Yeah, neutral game indeed here, Dark. And as we see here, Arctan releases out the Inkjet, able to get one pick out of it, and unfortunately not able to get another one, and is retreating back into the recall. And will they be able to get a pick on the Carbon? Well, yeah, with the assist, we'll say that. And it looks like your Fish times 5 is able to are now starting off a push here. And the thing with Undertow Tower, correct me if I'm wrong here, Dark, but I feel like this is pretty, I feel like when you reach to the second checkpoint, things start to get a little bit hectic once you get there.
Yeah, that second checkpoint is crucial to try and hold on for as long as you can. As we see here, PSU already shoving past that second checkpoint, heading to that third checkpoint. 21 points remaining there on their side as PSU still holding on strong. The Nova getting a crucial pick here. Two players down here. Then the tower control stops the sliding here from the Reef Slider, but they do manage to get a pick here. But that tower hasn't left that third checkpoint. Still counting down. 18 points remaining. Two players down from PSU, and I believe that's going to be a delayed wipeout here if they can get this Nova shot out of here, but Albi is just going to choose to get this tower moving back to mid as they do manage to lose a fight against the Nova.
Honestly, that was really incredible coming from Arctan's Nova. Like, Arctan was doing their absolute best to survive and just, like, stalling out the Llamas with their Inkjet. Really incredible play from them. And as we see here, though, things are starting to... We see Fish times 5 just retreating back to mid here, trying to regroup themselves and trying to get the potential push going. It seems like they're not giving up on it.
No, most definitely. In a situation like this, it could be a very well good opportunity here just to keep the gas going, not letting your opponents get a breathing room here. But with a beautiful Inkzuka shot, that's when the tides are going to instantly shift in their favor. A delayed wipeout here. The remaining members of Llamas are going in on the deep side to try and contest the respawning players from PSU. A 1-for-1 trade here on this platform means that NCCS Llamas are going to still keep the momentum going as best they can. Two down on their side means PSU Fish, especially with the crab tank here, are to halt that push before any more damage can be done, and they have yet to contest the lead that they initially set up in the first place. Now we're sitting at a really big point deficit here. Splat Llamas are just kind of starting to lose out this game here.
Yeah, and as we see here, the Fish times 5 is now starting again with the push. It seems like they're not giving up yet in regards to their lead. Like, obviously, even though that they have the lead, I think what they're trying to go for is to chew a lot of time coming from the clock, which honestly is a pretty good strat. But they do got to be careful though, because any foul play they do, it will put them at risk.
Especially with the 1 minute mark here, the NCCS put Llamas down to one player, and 1-for-1 trade here from both sides. It's going to still be a bit of a neutral game here. The Inkjet from Arctan is going to try and create some more space for their own team. PSU looking to try and keep control of that tower as the Llamas are on the deep end here to potentially get a pick, but no, they unfortunately whiffed majority of their shots here, and that tower is still staying in mid. That's a bit of an unfortunate thing here. Llamas really needed that pick here to try and get something going on here, but with 30 seconds remaining, it's going to be a very hard thing to try and push through here. But with the tactical response here, could be their tool to try and get anything going.
Yeah, I think with Tactical, this will definitely enable them to keep it going. But as I say that here, Fish times 5 is just out here, like, really using their specials and just like playing it, really just playing using them very well to help each other out. in regards to defending and also just like getting assists with it and stuff like that. And unfortunately, though, all of the members of Fish Times 5 have gone down and retreated back to their plat here. So this is Llama's time to shine here, and they already got the second checkpoint. And as we see here, they're still going.
Yeah, these things are starting to slip by from PSU Fishfishfish. 3 players down, and with Splat Llamas on the zone, they're going to be able to take that tower and ride into victory. A monumental push on their side. They're going to steal this game away from PSU, barely winning in an overtime scenario.
Oh my goodness, here, Dark. Honestly, like, I'm kind of seeing a little bit of deja vu here from when I commentated last night, you know, with what happened between Death Roll and the VCU Big Fat Sea Cows. Like, this is pretty much like that, but with these two teams here. But yeah, like the Llamas really did an incredible job here, just really like playing it patiently. Like once they saw the members of Fish Times 5 going down, they just had to give it all they had, and they sure enough, like they were able to use all their resources so well off of each other, getting pick one by one, and just really great stuff from them.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, just I think what really turned that tide for them was just the fact that on the jump in, there was that reslider to cover the jump in as well as create enough space. I don't remember if they managed to get a pick with the reslider or not, but it caused enough chaos there for the Llamas that they were able to fully jump back into the tower, pick off the remaining members of PSU right there one by one. And with only one player standing, it was just such a hard thing to try and come back from. It was such an extraordinary, well put together push at the very end there. It goes to show that the game really isn't over until that final point's taken or that final second is gone, and you just cannot give up in those stressful scenarios. But it really necessarily isn't going to be the end for either side, though. One game in a best of 9, they are in it for the long run here, especially now moving on to Rainmaker, Manta Maria. I'm eager to see exactly what's going to be coming from both teams next.
Yeah, honestly, like I don't know how to like particularly describe Rainmaker and Manta Maria. I feel like in this particular map mode, like anything can happen. So I'm very curious to see like if both of these teams will make some adjustments with their comps. I feel like with Fish Times 5's end, they're definitely gonna have to like make a couple of adjustments here, and I'm actually curious if they will bring back the Nova, since I feel like with the Nova's inkjet, it'll create a lot of chaos, especially since this is the Jets' playground for Manta Maria.
Yeah, I think that Nova you're definitely gonna be playing to try and use that inkjet as much as you can. But in the midst of that, I guess this is just a player who plays only the lowest of tiers weapons, because we see the undercover Brella. I think this is actually the first time I've seen the undercover Brella played seriously in the CCA in the time I've been casting here. So you can see exactly what PSU is exactly cooking up here, as they managed to do win the pop out here, as the Llamas are trying to just place it out, trying to see exactly where to get the first pick. The brush on the deep end, going in here, getting 2 on that platform before finally going down. With 3 players down from Fishfishfishfishfish, the Splat Llamas are definitely going to be the ones to try and get this opening gambit on their side.
Yeah, and right now Flack is now breaking the first checkpoint here, and they're doing their best to try to retreat back. But unfortunately, one of the members from Fish Times 5 was able to get a couple of picks here. And right now, Fish Times 5 is currently just resetting themselves and now starting their push. And I think they are able to break the first checkpoint. They are. Honestly, there's definitely going to be a lot of back and forth here. And oh my god, the carbon.
A bit of an interesting route. I don't think that route is such a tricky thing to actually get through. I'm genuinely surprised that PSU Fish was able to get that Rainmaker dunk right there, and now they're going to try and pick it up to get even more points, but they do fortunately get 3 picks on their side. Even though they weren't able to pick up the Rainmaker, they're not going to be able to try and run this down as fast as they can, as quickly as they can, to get as many points as they can before they eventually get dropped in here, dropping it down to 23 points already. That is a very good push on their side, and now it's going to be up to them to see if they can try and keep this push going, or if they're going to let it go and let the Rainmaker probably reset here.
I think with what we're seeing now, unfortunately, the members of Fish Times 5 are retreating a little bit back just so that they don't lose their members. Really good play on a couple of the members' end. Unfortunately, one of the members does go down, but that's okay. It is still a 3v3 on both ends.
Yeah, most definitely. Splat Llamas having control of the Rainmaker right now. It's going to be a little bit of a neutral game here, playing footsies to see exactly who's going to be going down first. A little bit of a dangerous positioning here from the Rainmaker. I'm not sure if I actually like the Rainmaker going this side, but it's not actually backfiring on them yet before they finally do go down all the way on the left side of the side. I believe they were by themselves, so they're leaving themselves wide open for the PSU Fish to be able to just come and dive them and take the Rainmaker down. And now, a neutral stalemate once again. Both these two teams are just fighting out and man, see exactly what's be happening next. Who can get that first opening pick on their side so we get the push going here, the fight on the against the Dapples, and the brush here does mean the brush wins here. Splat almost at the advantage here, and they're going to definitely try and get that Rainmaker going as fast as they can.
Yeah, and Fish Times 5 are just doing their best and in terms of maintaining a lot of defense. And as we saw earlier, that Undercover Brella was able to get some really good value here, able to get 2 picks. And now Fish Times 5 are now regrouping themselves, coming back into mid, just this team is just doing an incredible job, just knowing how to survive in very scary situations and just resetting afterwards.
Oh, absolutely. They're definitely not letting the pressure get to them here. And right now, they're showing exactly why they might still be slated to win this game here. Even though PSU Fishfishfish keeps getting these picks against the Llamas, they still haven't exactly left their presence here in mid. Even if it goes down to one player, there's still someone applying pressure on their team. But with Fishfishfish here sitting at mid here, they're desperately trying to get Llamas out. They're desperately trying to get them in control, keep them in line. With 2 players going down once again, this could be the opportunity to try and get any additional points on their side. But no, NCCS Splat Llamas are still struggling to get this Rainmaker going. PSU Fishfishfish are still going trade for trade here, but that could be the game they're playing here. They are in a lead with such a huge amount of points between them as we head into the final minute. If they keep playing it like this, keep making it a stalling out game of just constant back and forth trades, they will be the ones that victor at the end here.
Yeah, now Albie here, of course, doing what Albie loves doing, just trying to get a flanko when the opportunity presents itself. Able to get a couple of value here, initiating a potential push coming from the Llamas here. And we see the Rainmaker trying to take high ground on the bunker here. Incredible pick there on the well string here. And it seems like the Rainmaker is having a hard time dealing with the craft here, but this does leave an opportunity for them. Unfortunately, the Rainmaker goes down, and a wipeout coming from Fish Times 5.
That's not what you want to see in these final 30 seconds. PSU has a control of the Rainmaker, means that NCCS Splat Llamas, if they want to try and get this Rainmaker out of their hands and try and go for an overtime victory, they have to get a team right here. When Tactical are on PSU's side, it means that they can play dangerously without too many repercussions here. Even on the brush here, Aldi has the first opening pick here, trying to go in for the Rainmaker. They unfortunately do go down, and the NCCS's own Splat Llamas are now struggling to try and get something going. The Reef side goes on the deep side. The Rainmaker is dropped, and we are being sent in an overtime scenario, and they wipe out on their side. Means the Splat Llamas can pick up this Rainmaker. They have a minute left to try and contest these points here, so it's really going to be a do or die situation to try and make sure they can go fast as best as they can. But a bit of over eagerness means that they do unfortunately lose the Rainmaker right there in overtime. NCCS Splat Llamas going down a game.
Oh my god. My goodness, I was on the edge of my seat here, Dark, and
yeah.
Oh my goodness, oh man, I feel like the wipeout wasn't enough, as the members of Fish Times 5 was able to get there quickly to the little ramp area on their side, able to just get the pick on the Rainmaker. But still, though, that was an incredible effort there coming from the Llamas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most definitely. PSU had, I believe they had Tactical right there when they had that wipeout, so they were absolutely going to be ready to try and stop this push before it could get too out of control. It was a bit of a sketchy situation there, and I think if NCCS's Splat Llamas just slow down just a little bit, just take the time just a little bit longer. They had a full minute to play with there, a lot longer than most overtime timers in a lot of the other game modes here. So just a little bit of patience there definitely could have gone a long way, but now both teams are sitting at a 1-1 scenario. This definitely could be a Game 9 set here, as both teams keep taking games back and forth off of each other.
Yeah, like, I can I'm, like, anticipating on a game 9 here because I feel like when semis, roll around, this is what we said earlier, things are getting more intense as all the
Mm-hmm.
teams that have made it to playoffs are now working their butts off to, uh, just get themselves, on top, in their divisions and stuff like that, so, honestly, like, I think this is definitely going to be a season, nobody will forget. But anyways, we are heading to game number 3 on Umami Ruins. But actually, I think Fish times 5 actually said a couple of things. Would you like to explain what they have going on here, Dark?
Yeah, most definitely. A few things PSU Fish has provided for us here today is that for a few of their key victories, they're convincing Arctan to not to throw, and I guess Arctan may be a little bit of a problem player because they also listed that they are gonna yell at Arctan for a part of their victory here, and some other things here I see that Crab and Reslider are definitely their tools to victory, and I couldn't agree more that the crab take having so much area control and the restarter clearing so much space as it goes in, definitely moving in with those specials are gonna be a huge key here. And the last key they have here is watch for flanks and honestly and get the enemy to funnel into our front line. And yeah, that couldn't be said better. Their flanks could be a potential blind spot here, especially with the really weird comp that they've been running here. So a lot of that really tracks here, and I couldn't really have said it better here. And now heading to game number 3, Slat Zone to Umami, a map mode I very much enjoy seeing here, and I'm eager to see exactly what PSU has in store for us here.
Yeah, and as I noticed earlier, that one of the members from Fish Times 5 is running a Nautilus with the triple splashdown, which honestly, I could see it. I could really see it here in this map mode for sure, because it does provide some really good defense when you're trying to if you're like have the control and just guarding any of the members from the Llamas to push up. And as we see here, incredible pick from the chicken jockey, as I like to call the crab nowadays. Anyways, moving on here, like Andrew already getting a triple here. They are just on a roll here with the triple.
Yeah, NCCS's Llamas now shutting them down here, but the damage has already been done. 47 points remaining from PSU means that they have a hefty lead and counting as they're unable to try and push past this hole from PSU. The hammer coming in to keep their ground steady as the Splat Llamas are struggling to retake space here. Both zones finally being taken down here, but 2 going down from the Splat Llamas means that they're not going to be able to hold on for this much longer. And with a wipeout here, that is not a good side here. There is the penalty points here from the PSU to try and shoot through here, but Splat Llamas definitely has to get something going here before this game slips away for them.
Yeah, and as we see here, Andrew just sharking here, but unfortunately does get revealed by Albie and was able to get a valuable pick on the Dread Ringer, not letting it clean up for its Reef Slider. And now Andrew is trying to keep pressuring and getting one of the members here, but unfortunately does go taken down along with Albie here. And still, Fish times 5 is still maintaining their defense here. And as we see here, the Reef Slider comes out from Flak here. And it seems like we're about to see, incredible wipeout coming from the Llamas.
A good flip here means that Splat Llamas has the opportunity to try and lock PSU now for the first time in this game. It's going to be a bit of a hard thing to do here with a little bit of a range discrepancy with that Wellspring here, but it could prove out to be fruitful here as they're going on the deep side, trying to go around in the back line, but no, they get shut down immediately, getting another pick off of that initial push. And now PSU is at the player advantage here, trying to push back Splat Llamas as best they can here, but it's constant back and forth trades from both teams. PSU going in deep side now to try and contest the zone here and stop the points, which is crucial for their game plan here to make sure that NCCS's own aren't getting away with a lot of free points here, but they're still struggling to retake much of mid and any at all here, and both teams are just constantly trading back and forth, but PSU is now on the pack and as they get wiped out once again.
Yeah, and that was all thanks to the Carbon Roller from the Llamas. The Carbon Roller was able to just sneak through Fish times 5, able to get a triple there, and now it is Albie's turn to now to get a couple of picks here. Oh my goodness, here oh wait a minute, I do see the dualies flanking.
Yeah, going in, dropping in the fast lane on the left-hand side, going down the ditch. They were able to go in behind all the action that Splat Llamas and all the pressure that Splat Llamas were giving here. And now they're able to contest the zone, get the zone retaken, and give a hefty penalty points to the Splat Llamas. And with a delayed wipeout here, this is going to be a bit of a disaster for them because the point differential between these two teams are non-existent at this point. It's only about 8 points between these two teams. Once PSU gets through these penalty points, they definitely can't contest this lead. So Splat Llamas have to be very mindful here to not let them run away with this game, but be very careful to not get wiped out here. This could be do or die, and they really need these specials to try and create this picks they need and create the space they need to retake the zone. They do manage to contest one zone, but the splashdown comes in return and keeps them locked down. With 3 players down, lead is lost. I believe this could be very well as good as done for Splat Llamas.
Yeah, and now it looks like Fish times 5 are just now just holding their zone and just guarding it with their life, and this results in them getting game number 3 in their favor. Honestly, Dark, like despite this being a tough loss for the Splat Llamas in this game, I still liked what we saw from both of these teams here because like I think we saw a lot of the players that we haven't seen yet in the last 2 games here just really shining, and like for example Andrew with the the chicken jockey. I'm sorry, I have to keep this bit going. Anyways, like Andrew out here just doing an incredible job getting a couple of picks and able to just like skirmish around in their spawn here, and meanwhile the carbon roller from the llamas just able to get a triple, resulting in them like having them push up and just getting and just keep their keep getting picks there.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of players definitely shine a lot, once again here on this next game, and it was just a really good thing. Andrew doing a phenomenal job here, keeping Spat Llamas backed up long enough for them to be able to get such a huge lead, and I think this really was a pivotal point here in this game between these two teams. But man, oh man, these past 3 sets have been nothing but intense. Both of these two teams are putting everything on the floor now because I know for a fact they both want that a chance at that grand finals of victory here. But we still have a good amount of games to get through here before we can even could try and consider who could be coming out on top here as we head into game number 4. It's going to be interesting to see. Both these teams have been trading team games back and forth among one another, and history so far has states that NCCS Splat Llamas could probably take this game, and I think what could be the big linchpin here is who can actually break this back and forth combo, because at this rate, it's going to be PSU Fish that comes out on top.
Yeah, honestly though, like don't even know. I honestly don't know who's gonna make it on top because like both of these teams are really showing what they're made out of. Like they really just the fact that they made it to that they're really showing how they got here into playoffs. But anyways, folks, we are getting game number 4 started, and it is going to be Clan Blitz on Museum Del Foncino, a classic map mode here in Splatoon 3.
Most definitely. This could be a bit of a tricky map as well. Spinner control is the name of the game here from both teams, so you got to make sure you have good control over those specific areas here. And we do see a little bit of a change up from PSU, bringing a Jet Squelcher this time around. Another weapon that you don't really see played too often for good reason, but I won't be getting into those reasons right now, as both teams are playing it off here in mid to try and get that crucial first opening pick.
Yeah, and as we saw earlier, Andrew was trying to take the hard flank on the right side. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get any good value. But as I speak, it looks like the members of the oh no! Oh, that's so unfortunate for the carbon roller. They were trying to like chip damage the bat.
Yeah, that's such an unfortunate time to run out of ink there, because that definitely could have swung things around for their favor. But what now we see is still a bit of a mid-neutral game, maybe even swinging it back now in PSU's own favor as they get the Power Clam and they're looking to try and trying to take this spinner as best they can. Captain going out on the top side, but instantly gets popped by the resetter from down under. And now we see a jump in here that's definitely going to go in and try and open up that Clam basket immediately. And with a wipeout, that's such a dangerous situation for PSU here.
Yeah, and as we see here, Andrew taking the extreme, going to push up ahead in the basket, taking control of their snipe here, of the Llamas' snipe here, and Albie is trying to do their best in getting a pick on Andrew here, but unfortunately, I think they ran out of Inca during the process. And Andrew does go down, unfortunately, there. But still, though, we see that Fish times 5 is now able to get 59 points remaining, which honestly is a really solid push from them.
Yeah, most definitely. 59 points on Clamblin specifically definitely could be the game-winning push here, even if it's the only push we see. And 3 down for the Splat Llamas means that they're forced to back up. Whatever remaining members are forced to back up. And they did have tactical, so it's not going to be necessarily the end of the world here. But PSU are going to be moving in fast to try and make sure they can recontest the spinner here.
Yeah, and right now here, it looks like the members of Llamas are just like defending their plat here, and so far a little bit of a neutral going on, but it looks like now Fish times 5 is now getting a potential push going. Incredible pick there from the undercover Brella here. And it seems like they're trying to like start the push, trying to still keep it going, but the members are kind of, I think they're trying to use all their specials, if I'm noticing. Yeah, we do see here that we see Keyline with the vac, Andrew with the crab earlier, and ooh, what an incredible pick there coming from the carbon.
Yeah, good patience on there from the carbon roller here to try and wait it out for the ink back to probably pass by so they can come in on the backside to get them instantly popped here. And now with 3 players down, PSU, Fish are going to try and hold as mid as best they can so they can get ready for this oncoming weapon from Splat Llamas. But they are unfortunately going to be a bit too scattered here. There's a brush already on the offensive here to try and create the chaos it needs so Splat Llamas can retake mid properly here, getting pick after pick after pick, and Splat Llamas are now gearing up for their own push here, especially with the power clamp in possession.
Yeah, and with the tactical already out now, this could be their chance to start the push going here. And we see the will coming from Albie here, and I think this is what's now going to trigger the push here. The reslider also coming out here. Are they able to get it? No! Oh, that is so an unfortunate throw there coming from Albie there. Oh man, due to the fact that they missed, unfortunately though the push does get shut down by the reslider coming from Fish times 5.
That is gotta hurt from the Splat Llamas. Unfortunately, missing the power clamp throw means that what could have been a very solid push on their side turns into a big fat 0-for-nothing push, as now they're in mid once again. PSU, Fish, holding mid as best they can to try and stall them out, especially when this final minute of this game. But Splat Llamas are not giving up just yet, but the hammer comes in and does unfortunately get cancelled immediately. Another player going down means that Splat Llamas has the opportunity here to finally try and rectify things once again, but it is another swing and a miss, and they unfortunately don't get that power clamp in. It could have made the difference here if they were a bit quicker and had the aim to get the power clamp basket into the power clamp, but no, that is time going to be called. 30 seconds remaining. They need to get something going here if they wish to win this game.
Yeah, and with only less than 30 seconds remaining here, folks, this is now like there's a lot of pressure building up for the Llamas here. They have to build up a lot of clams here in order to switch that lead here. And as we see here, we are going to overtime, and all the members of the Llamas are again starting their push. And are they able to get it? Unfortunately, not with Fish times 5 able to get a lot of picks with their specials.
Yeah, here in overtime now, there's only about 30 seconds to try and get a push going on their side, and with having it halfway over, we're only about 50 seconds remaining. I'll be going on the deep end, trying to go on top of the grades to get a jump in here, so they at least open up the power clamp basket here, but unfortunately, no one's jumping in there, and with that unsuccessful push, PSU Fish takes a back-to-back game, and now they're seriously sticking up those momentum, bringing this set to a 3-1 scenario.
Oh, man. Honestly, Dark, like, I honestly have nothing to say here. I'm just like, you know, like, honestly, like, I just don't know how to feel about what we saw here. But still, like, yeah, I don't know, to be quite honest.
Yeah, it's hard to say exactly what went wrong there. It might have been a misplay. It might have been nerves getting the better of these players here. But Splat Llamas, that is an unfortunate thing to see. Not only did we witness that first miss there, but they got a second miss from the power climb into the basket near the end there. And there's no way to paint around it, but those misses cost them the game. They definitely would have had a better position there, especially in overtime, if they had gotten those initial power clamps into the basket. And this game could have gone completely different, and that's gonna sting. And just, I'm heartbroken to have seen that happen.
Heartbroken indeed here. Yeah, honestly, I think the llamas are now like just starting to feel a little bit more pressured than before. Like honestly though, um the best thing that all I could say is just take one game at a time. And also just forget about what happened in the last game and move on, because like if you keep thinking about it, then it's definitely going to affect your mentality, and the mentality is the most important thing to have when competing. But yeah, like honestly, I think with semifinals and all that and just everything happening, like I think this is where like mentality just really builds up like as you proceed in playoffs.
Absolutely, it's a bit of a hard thing to try and get things back in proper motion once you start spiraling a little bit down here. But it necessarily isn't the end of them just yet. They still have at least 2 games here to try and bring things back around. And now we're heading into game number 5, Inkblock Art Academy with tower control. This could be a very defining game here to see if PSU can actually things keep this momentum going in the favor of as Splat Llamas can recover from what we had just seen earlier in this last game. But as we are getting ready here, a bit of a message from PSU Fish here in Inkflaw, as a little message from production from them specifically says, "Hi Vapor, you should print out cardboard cards with bats written on them and hand them out to people at Riptide, telling them to take bats. Even better if it's people about to play on Inkblock, because one thing that's very crucial here, as they say this on this map mode specifically, is bats. Bats is your most vital area to control here, and if you lose control of bats, you pretty much lose the game, especially if that tower's at that second checkpoint, third checkpoint."
I 100% agree with you there, Dark. Like, bats is honestly the most important area in Inkblot Art Academy that you have to take control of, and especially when you start a push here, you have to take bats in order to like keep the push going here. But anyways, game number 6 is about to begin here, folks, and we see here uh I see an S-Blast coming from Fish times 5 here, and the Nova being brought back.
Yeah, a bit of another weapon rearrangement here from both teams, but Splat Llamas do unfortunately lose this first player here, and specifically the pencil here, as they go down another 2 players here. PSU Fish is not wanting to let this game and let this set go down easily. They want to try and end it as quickly as they can and get on with the remainder of their night here, but NCCS Llamas, Splat Llamas are holding it strong here in mid. The Carbon Roller managed to get the tower at least, push just a little bit further, and they are now technically in the lead, and that Carbon Roller might have actually saved them from a little bit of a pressure here, a little bit of a falling apart here, as they're still, PSU is still stuck in mid.
Yeah, right now things are pretty neutral for both these teams. Not huge pushes coming from both ends. I think what each of the members from both of these teams are trying to do is trying to get a pick in order to get the push going. We did see Albi getting a pick on the Wellstring earlier, but unfortunately does get taken down by Arcton, I believe. And now, okay, I didn't even notice that, but an incredible double there coming from one of the members from Llamas.
A good play here from the Llamas that forces a lot of pressure on PSU Fish, but the damage might already be done here, as they're already past that second checkpoint, heading to that third checkpoint. This is the air point of no return if they can get that to the tower to the third checkpoint. That's when things start spiraling out of control here. The Rave Slide on bats means that they're forced to play it back even further, with the Inkzuka getting another impactful pick here. This snowball's turning into a bit of an avalanche, and PSU has to try and get something going here if they wish to stay alive in this game for a little bit longer, but with 7 points remaining, no one in sight to contest that tower. Splat Llamas was able to ride that tower all the way to the end.
Oh my goodness, what an incredible knockout coming from the Llamas here. I think I think what might have happened is one of the members might have hopped in and took my advice when we were switching games. I think they just forgot about what happened in Clam's museum and just moved on and proceeded to the next map mode. And sure enough, like we saw an incredible massive change here from the Llamas.
Yeah, this is definitely the momentum shift they needed to get things back into play. Even though they're still technically down the game, PSU Fish have learned that they still can't take things a bit easy on Splat Llamas, even though they're up 2 games here. They still need to absolutely lock in and keep their pressure, keep the momentum going, unless they lose a game like this once again. And at this point in the game, as the set goes longer and longer, each game lost is more impactful on either team. You know, sitting at a score of 2-3, it still could swing either way, and it's still anyone's game at this point. And PSU may have lost a little momentum here after that next game due to just how quickly NCCS was able to take that game.
Yeah, I think like what happened is when the llamas were now like getting the push going, I think this might have like affected their affected Fish times Five's positioning and just getting ready to set up and stuff like that. So that was honestly really great. Just like immediately for the llamas to keep track of that and immediately just like went in and hope for the best. And sure enough, it really worked out for them. But anyways, here, folks, we are heading to game number 7, I believe. What is game number 7 here?
Oh, here in game number 6, actually, it is going to
Oh,
be
6. My bad.
No,
My
you're all
bad.
good. It happens to the best of us. It happened to me just the other day as well, so don't feel too caught up on it. But no, game number 6 is going to be Scorch Gorge Rainmaker. A bit of an interesting map mode, one that I personally don't like playing, but it is still interesting to watch nonetheless. And the key points to watch out for here is if Inkbot has bats to try and make sure you maintain control of all at all times. In this game, and in this map mode specifically, what you want to try and maintain control at all times is going to be the ramps, specifically the ramps leading up to that first checkpoint. Because as long as you have good area control of those 2 areas in the game, as an attacker or defender, you're going to be looking for a very successful pushes, no matter what the situation is for the game here. But as we see here, both teams absolutely ready and going in, not wanting to waste any more time in the late lobby room, as they're already kicking off game number 6.
Yeah, and as we see here, one of the Key Lime is bringing back the Jet Sculpture coming from Fish times 5 here, which honestly I do not mind seeing. I feel like with its vacuum, it can be able to like create a bit of a cheesy situation, just letting the members to go in and get valuable picks on the members here. But as we see here, the llamas are taking up the momentum here first. And as we see them, they're just getting picks left and right. But unfortunately, with Arctan's Reslider, they were able to get an incredible double pick there. And now this is Fish times 5's time to start their push.
Yeah, a delayed wipeout here means that PSU was able to use that momentum and quickly flip it into a quick and fast lead take here. They're able to pop that Rainmaker and go dunk it down to the first checkpoint. And now they're going to try and just make a breakaway to get even more points here on their side. But the Comet Roller coming in, swinging, and takes a 2-for-1 special there as that crab take is instantly popped. And NCCS is not wasting any time as they're already moving to mid, already moving up to that ramp and trying to make sure they can get that Rainmaker ducked and deposited into the checkpoint as fast as they can.
That was incredible. Like, because of that, this results in the Llamas just able to get a wipeout here, and now I think we may be seeing a bit of a lead swap coming from them. And this is and I haven't mentioned this yet here, but I feel like when it comes to Scorcha on Rainmaker, this is definitely a notorious map mode where there is bound to be like I feel like just getting a lead isn't safe in my opinion, especially like when you push up to the opponent's court and stuff.
Most definitely. That first checkpoint might be a hard thing to get through here, but if you actually do get through that first checkpoint and get it past that first checkpoint, that's when the points really start falling, and that's when the points really start heading into your favor here really fast. And now sitting at a 27-point differential, Splat Llamas are now at the lead here, so they can play however aggressively or however defensively they want here. PSU, Fish are struggling to keep up with their speed here. NCCS and Splat Llamas are going to be able to pick up that Rainmaker once again, are looking to try and keep it in control and trying to make sure that they can push it up as far forward as they can without letting it fall into PSU's own hands.
Yeah, and with members going down, this is resulting in a delayed wipeout from Fish times 5, and now the Llamas again are trying to get the push here. Will they be able to get more points down here? By the looks of it, yes. And are they going to get the knockout? They unfortunately are shut down by the well string there. Still though, 11 points is a really solid push coming from the Llamas, but this could be but this is Scorch Rainmaker. Anything can happen, so we'll see what happens with Fish times 5 here.
Most definitely. There's still 2 minutes remaining on the clock here, and it's not necessarily an over game yet. Fortunately for them, they do have that first checkpoint gone, so they don't have to worry about that in an overtime scenario here. So, but with the point differential being so big, 40 points between the two teams, needing to bring it down to 10 points remaining, that's a near knockout scenario there. In order to get to that contention, they have to be able to be in a position to get a knockout here, and it's not looking good for them here as 3 goes down once again. NCCS Splat Llamas are just keeping their aggression going, keeping this tempo going in their favor. The reach coming in on the deep side, getting that Rainmaker down and out of PSU's own hands, or NCCS's own hands. And now with 3 players down, and the potentially delayed wipeout here, PSU is back in the driving seat here in mid.
Honestly, though, I do want to just highlight Arctan with the undercover umbrella. They've been doing really well, just getting a couple of picks here. I know, like many people are. I know many people have their own like. You know, they have their own beef when it comes to the undercover not being the best, but I feel like when you see Arctan, like, they just really show how much they've been practicing with the undercover umbrella here.
It could also, on the flip side of that, it could also be the fact that Splat Llamas just don't have a lot of experience with undercover, and with it being a weapon that hardly anyone ever uses, so you just
yeah.
you just don't know how to play around it, which I can't blame them for that either, because I definitely don't know how to play around undercover. It's such a weird weapon to try and fight against here, but Splat Llamas getting a crucial wipeout here, 30 seconds remaining. I think that wipeout could have spelled PSU's own end here if they don't get back in the mid as fast as they can. There's no specials online just yet, and NCCS Splat Llamas are just looking to just keep it hold in mid. 2 players down from PSU, Fishfishfishfishfish. 1 player, Andrew, coming in on the deep side to try and potentially save this game as best they can, but it looks like there's too many eyes on them already. Crabsake does come out to try and get this Rainmaker out of their hands, but too fast for that torrentation speed means that PSU Fishfishfishfish loses 2 games in a row. NCCS Splat Llamas brings this game tied 3-3.
Oh my goodness, like, that was really incredible play there coming from the Llamas. Like, honestly, like, after what I think, like, after what happened in Clam's Museum, they definitely are now trying to, like, forget about what happened and really trying to, like, keep their mentality, like, as positive as possible. And sure enough, it is really working out. Like, it is really showing them throughout these past 2 games. Like, we're really seeing a massive 360 change on their end, as I said earlier. But yeah, really great plays here, able to get valuable picks on all the members of Fish times 5 here. And now this is a tiebreaker here, Dark. Like, honestly, like, with what's been happening, this is still anyone's game here.
Oh, absolutely. This definitely cannot be overstated enough. Both of these teams aren't out for the count. There are, right now, there's only 3 games remaining, and these 3 games are gonna be crucial for the final standings here. As the game goes on, as I mentioned earlier, each loss gets more and more impactful here. And losing 2 in a row from PSU Fishfishfishfish's side means that they are losing out on a bit of wiggle room to try and stamp their ticket for grand finals here. NCCS Splat Llamas have shown that they have the perseverance to outlast whatever PSU throws at them, and are willing to not let it get to the best of them here. As shown with the past 3 games, bringing those 2 games out against PSU just shows that they have that tenacity to stay alive for a little bit longer and are willing to fight for this to the very end, even taking this to a game 9 if necessary to try and make sure that they can be the ones on top here at the end of this set.
Yeah, honestly, I'm honestly really still anticipating on a game 9 here because just the fact that, like, we make it to the game 9, it just shows that both these teams are really just showing how hard they are working in trying to fight to get into finals here. And honestly, though, like, I am just so excited to see what these last couple of games here have what these last 3 games have for us in store. And as we see here, we are heading to game number 7. Okay, am I right? Yeah, I'm right.
Yeah.
I just need a little bit of a check here. So I just need, yeah. Anyways, we're heading to zones on Surgeon Shipyard. Wait.
There's a shipyard.
Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting that. Wait, I don't remember if I saw that in the map pool before. Was it there?
It might have been. I don't really pay attention to the map pool. I know CCA likes to bring their own curveballs for map modes.
Oh, it was ship
That
shape.
It was ship shape, yeah. That a little bit of a small error on the map preview screen, but it happens to the best of us. We're only human here, and it doesn't affect things too much here. As we're now heading to game number 7, we're gonna see exactly what these two teams are bringing onto the table for these last 3 games here. And I do see an interesting weapon pick there from PSU own the Dapple Dually, specifically with Tacticaler on their side.
Double Reef Slider coming from a Fish ×5 here. I think like after what happened in the last few games, I think they really are going to. I feel like they're at this point where they are really gonna just go all out and just give us quite a bit of an explosive game here. But as we see here, Fish ×5 has already had a really good start here, but unfortunately, wait. Oh, they were able to get a wipeout on the Llamas here. And now Fish ×5 is now at a really good advantage, now doing their absolute best in defending as possible. One of the biggest things regarding ship shape cargo in zones is that it's pretty lockout heavy, as I mentioned before.
Yeah, lockouts on this map can be brutal here if you don't have the tools to try to probably break through here, and it could be seeming that Splat Llamas don't have that tools to them right now, especially being used constantly by PSU Fishfishfishfish. A good rotation of them to make sure that they can keep Splat Llamas in place and put them in the ground for as long as they can. And with the restart coming on the last 10 seconds here, no one to contest that zone. That PSU Fishfishfishfish is able to ride that 100-0, bringing them to 4-3 scenario, which means that they're currently at match point.
Oh my goodness. What a clean knockout coming from Fish ×5. I think like after the just as I said earlier, like what has happened, they are definitely like going to go all out in these last couple of games here. And yeah, honestly, this still isn't over though for the Llamas here. They really gotta like figure out they gotta start like thinking what to do next for the next game mode here in order to get that tiebreaker and get to game 9 here. And yeah, like honestly, like this was like honestly, like I still cannot get over how clean that knockout was coming from Fish ×5.
PSU Fish did an absolutely extraordinary job here to get this game out of the way. That was NCCS's Splat Llama's only remaining lifeline. They are at their final game here. The next game loss does put them out of qualification for the grand finals, as they are now going to be slated to head to fight for their 3rd place match here. I know for a fact that neither the Splat Llamas nor PSU Fish wants that here. They're gonna try their best to play it out to the very end, and without any hesitation, they're already readying up, and we're gonna see exactly what they're gonna be bringing here on this game number 8 without any waiting room whatsoever. We see Mako Mart Clam Blitz.
I know for a fact that this is Sky's time to shine because once it's Makomart, you know, I feel like this is going to be a good time for Sky here, especially since Makomart is the playground here for a carbon roller player to, you know, just have fun and be, you know, an absolute nuisance here. But as we see here, the Llamas are already at a really good start here, taking control of mid here and starting a potential push.
Yeah, a good hold from Splat Llamas here. May bite them a little bit in the rear as Fishfish backs up long enough so they can get their specials in play, so they can absolutely flip the table on them here. But it's still a mid-neutral game state. Both these two teams are getting these back and forth trades, and no one's able to build much of a momentum here. But the restart going on the deep and a quick slide in from the PSU Fish means they can get the first power climb deposited into the basket and put them on the board with a little bit of extra change here.
Yeah, and already a couple of clams are going in the basket, but unfortunately, I think this is the end of Fish ×5's push here, and now the Llamas are now going back and retake mid and trying to start a potential push here. But one of the things that people need to remember here regarding Mako Mart clans is that this is one of those map modes where the baskets are very close to each other in mid, so there's bound to be a constant back and forth here, as we may see here in this in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, it's hard to say exactly what might turn out from both of these pushes here. The map most specifically is known for a very volatile game state where anything could flip at any single moment. What could have been a very good push from one team could very well backfire in their hands and just make it be an antithesis of what their push should have been here. As even though there were 2 players down from the Splat Llamas, PSU Fishfishfishfish was unable to push up and get any more power clams in the basket. And now we're hitting mid state once again. 3 minutes remaining in this game. Splat Llamas are on their final game, so they gotta make sure they can win out this next game here if they want to stay alive at the set for a little bit longer. But going on the deep side, there's so much action going on across the map that the Helldive was able to just come in and take the clams and take the lead here from right under PSU's own noses.
Yeah, really great stuff coming from both the Carbon and the Brush here. Like able to get the lead swap, but it is not that good of a push here, as this could easily be switched by Fish times 5 here. But as of right now, though, Fish times 5 are trying to get a push going. Unfortunately, one of the members does go down here, and now the Llamas are once again retaking mid here and trying to start a potential push here. And I think from what I'm seeing, they're trying to paint up for specials here. We did see the cooler come out, so I think this might be a sign that they're trying to get a potential push going.
Yeah, trying to use whatever specials they can to open up their enemy team is going to be key here, especially with a small map like Mako Mart. It could very well be a one special could absolutely swing the momentum wide open here, but both teams are still playing it at a relatively mid-game. Inkzuka coming out to try and get a pick here before getting traded out. Crabstick now on the left-hand stacks here does get another pick, as now it was just swing, momentum starting to swing back in their favor, but no, the rush from Albi comes in and goes in and gets the power climb into the clan basket once again in the midst of all that chaos, and they're going to be able to get some extra change here as we are trying to get things grabbed back in motion to jump in from Splat Llamas music, and they can potentially get the power clamp into the basket, but no, they run out of time and they ran out of space. That is an unfortunate thing to see here, but they are still in the lead.
Yeah, but again, it still wasn't enough of a push here. This does result in giving out a free pity for the Fish times 5 here. Whoa! What an incredible pick they're coming from the well string here. But now, because of that, they had a clear opening. Now getting the basket broken, and now the lead is switched back into Fish times 5's favor here.
A good pushback from PSU Fish, but we do see a wipeout, which could very well be detrimental to Splat Llamas as they're starting to recover from that initial push. They don't have necessarily all the specials instantly ready for them, so they can probably defend this push here. But 1-for-1 trades here means that it's going to be a struggle to see who exactly comes out on top of this incoming push from Splat Llamas. But another player going down from both sides. It's just an utter bloodbath on this right stacks here. 40 seconds remaining. PSU Fish wants to finish up this game and just take it home here, but Splat Llamas are playing for their lives here. They're playing to stay alive for a little bit longer. 30 seconds remaining. These next few picks and next few fights are going to be impactful.
Yeah, and right now we see the chicken jockey now coming from the Fish times 5 here, but unfortunately wasn't able to get any good picks here. We see now that the Llamas already broke the basket here and was able to get 34 clams remaining, but I think this is the end of a push here. But this still isn't over for Llamas. They're about to get into overtime, and all they got to do is use all their resources, just get as much control of mid and Fish times 5's area as possible. But by the looks of it, they're really struggling here.
Yeah, PSU Fishfishfish are looking to absolutely turtle up for as long as they can, so they lose any opportunity for Splat Llamas coming out of nowhere to get that power climb into the basket here. 2 players down for Fishfishfish means that they're going to try and desperately hold on this push, but the jump in here could very well be the end there, as they unfortunately missed the throw-in from the jump in, causing them to lose this game. Splat Llamas going down 3-5 to PSU Fishfishfish, as they are going to be the ones moving into grand finals.
Oh my god here, folks. Wow. What a game that was. Honestly, though, like, not gonna lie here, I really was rooting for the Llamas here because, like, they were doing such a good job here, like, getting these just like breaking all of the baskets and like getting doing just a really good job getting usage out of their specials, resulting in the members of Fish times 5 here going down. But unfortunately, though, Fish times 5 just really hold it in there and just were able to we're able to like get a lot of clams in and just able to get game number able to get game number 8 here, and because of that, they win semifinals in Division 5.
Yeah, I mean, that right there just really showed just how the pressure could really get to someone that was do or die for Splat Llamas to stay alive and move on to the bracket here for them. But they're unfortunately losing out on that, brings them takes them out of running for grand finals, and instead places them for the third place match against another set that I don't believe we have seen just yet, nor I don't think has finished just yet. We'll be concluding on that here in the in near future here. But man, oh man, both these two teams did extraordinarily well job tonight, and no matter the outcome, you have to be proud of where you come and how far you came. But we are just running a little bit over here as we see from a bit of an intense set here, so we do have to be wrapping up fairly quickly here, so we don't make things run too long here. So Sib, anything you want to add or say as we start wrapping up here?
Well, this actually isn't the end of me regarding commentary, as I will actually be commentating in an hour from now, I believe. But if not, then that's okay. I'm sorry that I spread that false information there. But if I don't appear in the next commentary session, you can find me at Blue Sky and on Twitch at Sibirino, where you get to see me talk about my competitive journey and just a bunch of IRL shenanigans that I do every now and then. But yeah, I think for you, Dark, I think you're still going on, right? You're still going on, right?
Oh, absolutely. This isn't far from over for me. Yeah, I still have another game coming up here. Division 1, Arc Hagley versus PSU Blues. A match one
Oh.
you do not want to miss. So
You don't
I
want to miss
suggest
it.
you sticking around to see how that match plays out. But if you do unfortunately have to leave, that is okay. I respect your time and effort for just swinging by the stream in the first place anyways. But if you are leaving, you can find me at SPF most social underscore dark at both social media places, or you'll hear my voice time and time again, either here at the CCA, IPO, or Down Productions. I'm literally all over the place, and you'll most likely hear me on a week-to-week basis. But with that being said and done, that's going to be it for this, and that's going to be it for this block. But don't go anywhere just yet. A Division 1 match is coming up for you right out of the gate, so get your water, get your foods, get your snacks. We'll be right back after this quick break. Whew.